should not be for marriage. Therefore set forth the Prajna Paramita mantra. Set forth this mantra and proclaim Gate Gate Paragate Parasanta Bodhi Swaha.
Good morning to all of you. In this talk, I would like to say something about our Zen practice in the beginning, and after that, I would like to take a koan and make some commentaries. Zen practice is a body-mind practice, because the realization, our Zen realization, is a body-mind realization. It is not only of the body, nor only of the mind. It is both. Both body and mind are integrated, connected. And therefore, the practice is also a body-mind practice. And therefore, in your sitting, especially the practice, the way you are seated, the way you hold your body, the way you, your attitude with the body, the way you present your body, the way you deal with your body, it is all very important and very helpful. When you sit in Zazen, we really feel very friendly with the body, not taxing the body too much. Be friendly with the body and also have some dignity for the body, a kind of an appreciation for the body. Be grateful to the body. Without the body, you cannot practice. You cannot even breathe. You cannot walk. Body is very important. So sit with the attitude of some kind of a gratitude, appreciation, friendliness with the body. And also, the practice we do, it is not a mere mind work. It is not mental work. No. It is all connected. Your whole self is involved in the practice. We call it Zazen practice. All of you know, when especially new people, when they come, you are given an introduction, how to sit, how to sit with the erected back and relaxed shoulders, relaxed arms. Take care. You be totally relaxed. There is no need to accumulate tension or stress in your body. There is no need. Why unnecessarily we accumulate tension in the body, in the face, in your forehead, in your neck, and cramp yourself? There is no need. Relax. Be totally release yourself. Relax yourself. Be at home with yourself, with your body, with your breath, with the surroundings. Just be. It means allowing yourself just be. With all your ups and downs. It is true, we all have problems, difficulties. Sometimes memories come, feelings come, problems come. It's all right. Just sit. Allow yourself just to be. Just be in the here and now. You are all right. It is okay. If you want to ask me the practice, especially for the newcomers, we have a kind of two ways you can do the practice. One is focused awareness, another one is open awareness. Focused awareness means you focus on one particular thing. In Zen practice, normally we focus in the abdomen. It is called the hara. Just focus here. That means for every breathing and every breath out, there is a gentle movement in the abdomen. You can see, when you breathe in, the hara gently expands and comes forth. And when you breathe out, the hara gently contracts and little tightened and going in, falling in. So for every breath out and every breath in, the hara gently arises and gently falls. Just stay with that awareness, nothing else. It's very simple. Focused on one point. Just stay. Thoughts will come, emotions will come, fantasies will come. Just pay attention, notice them, gently come back, and rest in this awareness practice. It is very good, very healing. After a period of practice, you can very easily enter into a kind of a samadhi, where you feel you are so light, no stress in the body, your mind is calm, quiet, and you can enjoy a sense of serenity and peace within yourself. It is very good. So practice that. And also another way of practicing is open awareness. That means you don't focus on anything, not even your breath, not even your body, not even your hara. Just sit. Sit with open awareness. Open awareness means whatever happens, you are aware. You are sitting very calmly, quietly in the seat. Suddenly you hear the song of the bird. You just pay attention. Yes, I hear the sound of the bird, and come back. And you hear the sound of the wind. You are aware of it. Or somebody moving, or somebody is talking, somebody is coughing, or you are aware of the light, aware of the temperature. Just be. Even in your own body, sometimes some kind of a stress, some kind of a pressure, some itching. Just pay attention and be with that. And sometimes your body, your mind, lot of things will come, streams of thoughts. You know it, when you sit in zazen, streams of thoughts after thoughts arises, and memories after memories, feelings after feelings, images after images. Just look at them and come back. So not to be carried away by them or not to resist anything, be open. Let them come and let them go. Just pay attention, just be, kind of within yourself, you just be aware and be present in the here and now. At this very moment, as the reality is unfolding itself, you just bear witness and just be at home with that. That's all. That is the practice. And also, as I said yesterday, it is the practice of being here and now. Many a times we are not in the here and now. Our thoughts are taking us for a ride. Sometimes we go after them, or we are carried away by them. But then you become you become very stressful. Mind become very crushed like that, and then you feel very uneasy. The awareness practice is just we know that thing, and then just let them go, and come back and rest in yourself. There is a small story I just want to tell you about the here and now. There was a young man, and he bought a very nice picture in the market, and he wanted to hang this picture in his wall in the house. Then when he was trying to hang it, he realized he doesn't have a hammer to hit the nail. And he realized his friend has got a hammer, but his friend was living in the opposite street. So he said, okay, I will go and get the hammer from my friend. So he was walking. On the way, he was thinking, if I go and ask the hammer, will my friend give it to me? No, he may not give, because yesterday I saw him in the market. He did not even wish me. Maybe he is jealous of me. He is finding for an opportunity, put me down. He is very proud. He will not give me. He may say, I don't have. All these things are going on, And when he reached his friend's house, he knocked at the door. And the friend very cheerfully opened the door. Oh, my dear friend, welcome. What do you want? What made you to come here? And this man, he was all the time with the negative thoughts, suddenly burst out. I don't want your hammer. You keep the hammer, bloody hammer with you, he said, and then he left. The friend was shocked. See, we are living in a different world. The reality is not so. No? The reality is so. The friend was so smiling, welcoming, but he was living in another world, imaginary world. No? Many a times we are like that. No? The life is so beautiful, no? So calm, serene, greeneries, beautiful, nice, lovely people, caring people, many things. But we miss all these things. We are carried away by something, and we live in an imaginary world, and many a times making ourselves miserable. Zazen practice is come home, come home. Be in the here and now, open to the reality, and just be here. Allow yourself to be, allow the surroundings to be. No? That is the practice. And also, when you sit or even when you walk, no, you just allow yourself with a sense of you are all right, you are okay. Lot of problems you have, it's all right. But then, no, you can just allow yourself be here. No? A kind of a sense of surrender, sense of a kind of letting go and letting be. Let me just be. Of course, with all my limitations, problems, let me just be. No? That kind of an attitude. And also remember, when you sit, it is not you are sitting. It is the Buddha sits. It is the Christ sits. It is the whole universe is sitting. No? When you breathe in and breathe out, it is the whole universe breathing in and breathing out. So sit with a sense of the oneness, in embracing the whole reality, and sit with that. No? That is a beautiful practice. So do that. Having said this, I would like to take a koan today and make a few comments. I take a koan from Mumun Khan for the new people. We have many collections of koans. This is a collection called Mumun Khan. It is a collection of 48 koans collected by Master Ummon in the 13th century in China. And each koan is presented in the form of first the main case, and then followed by Ummon's short commentary, followed by his verse. That is also very brief. I take case 35. Goso asked a monk, Seijo and your soul are separated. Which one is the true Seijo? That is the case. And Mummon's commentary, if you realize the true one in this, you will understand that getting out of one shell and entering another is just like a traveler staying at an inn. If you have not realized it, don't rush about wildly. When earth, water, fire, and wind are suddenly about to decompose, you will be like a crab which has fallen into boiling water and is struggling with its 7 arms and 8 legs. At that time, don't say, I did not warn you. The verse, the clouds and the moon are the same. Valleys and mountains are different from each other. All are blessed, all are blessed. 10,000 things, 10,000 blessings. Is this one? Is this two? This is how this koan is presented here. No. See, a few words about the Zen master. Here we come across a Zen master, Baso. Baso, actually his original name is Hoyen. Because he lived in a mountain called Baso, he was well known after the name of the mountain, Baso, as it was the custom in China at that time. And it is said Baso entered into a kind of a monkhood, very early age. At the age of 35, he became a priest, a Buddhist priest. And then eventually, he became the Dharma successor of Master Hakuin. And it is said Baso lived for 80 years or so. But that is not that important here. The important thing is the koan. The koan is presented in only one line, one sentence. Baso asked his monks, Seijo and her soul are separated, and who is the true Seijo? So he is asking the monks. Of course, this koan has its own background. It is coming from a story. It is a folk story, well known or very popular in the ancient China, and therefore the master is taking the story and making a koan from it. The story of Seijo, I think some of you know. Seijo was a young girl, young and beautiful girl. He was the most beautiful girl in the village, and many young men wanted to marry her. But then Seijo's heart was longing for her own cousin. He was a very handsome young man. And it is said Seijo and her cousin, from their childhood onwards, they were playing together. And once Seijo's father commented, they make a very good pair. It will be nice when they grow up, if they get married and live together. And when these two children, Seijo and her cousin, when they grew up, they really fell in love with each other. And they wanted to get married. But then, when Seijo attained the age of marriage, her father decided to give Seijo in marriage with another young man who was little well off. And these two people, Seijo and the cousins, both are heartbroken. It was unbelievable for them, cannot accept it. They were heartbroken. And therefore, one day, the cousin met Seijo and told her, Seijo, I cannot live in this village, seeing you married to another man. So I have decided to leave this village. Tonight, we have a river at the end of our village. I will cross the river. I will go off to a distant land and I will live there. So he said that. And that night, he took a boat and he was started paddling, crossing the river. Suddenly he heard a noise and turned back and saw somebody was rushing towards him. And to his great surprise, it was Seijo. And Seijo told him, how can I live in this village without you? I will also come with you. So Seijo also got into the boat. Both of them crossed the river, went into the far land, and they got married and they lived together. And after some years, they have got 2 children. And now, Seijo, when she was reflecting about her father, she was feeling so bad. She was feeling guilty. And she thought, I disobeyed my father. I abandoned my father. And I was against all the customs of my village and came into this place and living a life like this. And she was feeling very guilty. She was sharing this to her husband, now that is the cousin. And he also said, I too feel the same. You see, we left our village. We went against the customs of our village. We came here and we are living like this. I also feel not quite happy inside. And therefore, both of them decided, okay, let us go back. Let us go back and let us meet our father. We'll ask for his forgiveness and then we will ask for his blessings and then we can be peaceful. So both of them came. They again took the boat and came to the village. When they reached the village, the cousin said, her husband, Seijo, I do not know in what mood your father is, and therefore you please stay here in the river bank. First I will go and meet your father and reconcile with him, and I will come back to take you. So he went, and when he saw the father-in-law, he was at the house in front, and he made a deep bow and said, Father-in-law, please forgive me because I took your daughter. But then, we went to a distant land, we got married, we lived very happily, and we have got 2 children. But now Seijo and myself came here because we want to get your forgiveness and your blessings. Hearing this, the father was confused and surprised. He said, "What nonsense are you talking about? My daughter Seijo never left the house. Shortly after you left this village, my daughter Seijo fell ill and she became paralyzed. She was bedridden. She cannot walk, she cannot move, she cannot talk, she can only hear. And what nonsense are you talking about?" And this man said, No, your daughter Seijo followed me when I left this village. And we went off to a far distant place. We got married. We have got 2 children. Even now she is waiting at the river bank. I will go and bring her. And therefore he ran to bring Seijo to the river bank. And this father, he was so confused, and he went in. Of course, his daughter Seijo was lying on the bed, bedridden, paralyzed. And he went near and told her, "My daughter Seijo, what is this all stories I am hearing about you? Your lover, your cousin who left the village, who came here, and he is telling me all these stories. That you eloped with him, you went to a distant place and got married, have 2 children, and you are waiting in the river bank. What is it?" And hearing this, the girl who could not walk, who could not move, who was paralyzed, immediately jumped out of the cot bed, and she was running towards the river bank. And of course, the other girl was coming towards her. And both Seijos embraced each other and they become one. And now the father told Seijo, when your cousin left this village, you became ill, you became paralyzed, you are dumb, as if your soul has left you. And then Seijo said, "Father, I do not know. When I heard my cousin left this village, I followed his boat as though it was in a dream," she said. So that was the folk story. Now the master, Baso, is taking this folk story and asking the students to help them to come to a Zen realization. He is asking them, what is the question he is asking? Seijo and your soul are separated. Who is the true Seijo? He is asking. If I ask you, who is the true Seijo? What will you say? Who is the true Seijo? Soul. The soul is the true Seijo.
Both. I think both.
Both. Both are the true Seijo. See, Zen Kovan is not about the story. Each story is pointing to you, your very self. Actually, he is asking, Baso is asking who is the true Seijo. Actually, he is pointing to the monks. Who are you ultimately? That is the question he is asking. You are the Seijo. You are the one who are paralyzed. Or you are the one who left with the cousin. And who are you truly? What is your true self? That is the core question each koan is pointing to us. See, they say human beings are a complex whole. Anthropologists say that. Every human being is a complex whole. We have got complex, we have many levels, and we are one whole being. For example, we move in different levels in life. We move in body level, we have got body, and we move in feeling level, and we move in mind level, thinking, thought, mind level, and we move in imaginative level. imaginations. And also we move in psychic level, no? And we move in dream level. We also have dreams, and a lot of feelings comes up with that dream level. And we move in social level, faith level, different levels, no? But then when we move in all these levels, if we are caught up with one particular level, then you are caught up. You are not free. No. If you see the story of the Seijo, you see one same Seijo, two different sides of the same Seijo. No? At one side, you see a Seijo who was so obedient to the father, no? And following the customs of the traditions of the community, customs of the village. That is, abandoning her own dreams and taking the dreams of her father into herself. So obedient, following the customs, following the traditions, never say no to the father. No? Very obedient. At the same time, you see, there is no life in her. She was almost dead, paralyzed, cannot walk, cannot talk, cannot move, just lying there like a vegetable, you see. Another level, on the contrary, there is another side of the Seijo who has given wings to her dreams, no? Who followed her dreams. So she followed her cousin and went to a distant land, got married, have children, and living happily. But at the same time, in the heart of heart, there is no peace. No peace, feeling guilty. You see, two sides of the same Seijo. One side very obedient, but no life. The another side following the dreams, but no peace of mind. See? And this is a reflection of ourself. It is not about some Seijo or no, it is ourself. Sometimes we are like that. We are divided in most of the times within ourselves. We are tormented within ourselves. You see, in daily life, we take up a lot of roles, isn't it? You play the role of a teacher or a mother for the child, or play the role of the father for the children, or you play the role of a guide, or a servant, or a doctor, or a Zen master, or an administrator. No, you play many roles. But many a times we get identified with a particular role. When you get identified with one level, then you are stuck. And there is a split, there is a division. And you cannot find harmony or peace within yourself. Here, in the story of the Seijo, see, one side she was identified with her custom, obeying the father, no, very obedient girl, no, identifying herself with that. The another side, she was identifying herself with her dreams, going with her cousin, getting married, living with him. No? And when you are identified like that, you are tormented within yourself. No? And we are like that. Many a times we get divided, split within ourselves. Though we are complex whole, one, but inside so much of divisions. Different time, different ways. No? I did not tell you all these things. But the whole question is, how can we bring harmony within ourselves? How can we bring peace within ourselves? How can we bring freedom within ourselves? That freedom which can give you the freeness to move freely in all the levels. Freely you can move, because you move in different levels. We need to move. And can you move freely in all these levels and abide in the peace and harmony within yourself? That is the question, okay? That is actually the peripheral way of looking at this koan, no? That is the external way. At the same time, there is another way of looking at this koan, that is looking at this koan from the ultimate point of view. How will you look at this koan from the ultimate point of dimension, ultimate point of view? That is actually Zen koan is, we are expected to look at the koan from the ultimate level. How you can look at this koan from the ultimate level? See, Zen realization is that we are to move in two dimensions. One is our phenomenal self and another one is our ultimate self. See, just now we recited the Heart Sutra. The core of the Heart Sutra is this: form is emptiness, emptiness is form. That is the core of the Zen realization. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. What is form? What is form? All that we see and all that we experience, they are forms. This is a form. No? I have got a form. You have a form. No? This table has got a form. The specs has got a form. Tree, mountains, rivers, people, birds, animals. All that you see, all that you experience, hear, even sound, everything is a form. At the same time, this form is not only this. Only this. There is a dimension in this form which has no limit. No limit. That we call it the ultimate self. Ultimate self. See, this form, we are limited in so many ways. This form is limited. No? It is limited by time and space, isn't it? We are all limited by time and space. We are limited with our bodies. No? Even we are limited with our senses. No? Even our sight is very much limited. We cannot see colors without beyond certain range. No? Like ultraviolet or infrared rays, we cannot see by our eyes. We are limited. Even sound, we cannot hear beyond certain range. No? Beyond certain decibel, we cannot hear the sound. So we are limited in our senses. We are limited with our body. And also our understanding is limited. Beyond certain level, we cannot understand. Our understanding is limited. And also limited in space and time. We are limited in so many ways. At the same time, there is a dimension within us which has no limit, no boundaries. Like our consciousness. Our consciousness can pervade everywhere. There is no limit. Like our consciousness. And the ultimate self, we call it, in Zen, it is called emptiness. Emptiness. Or it is also called the Buddha self. We can also call it as a Christ self or the divine self. And there is a dimension within each and every one of us which has no limit, which is not bound by anything. You can go anywhere in that dimension. Nothing can bind you, nothing can touch you. You are not clinging on to anything and nothing clings to you. In that dimension, you are totally free and total openness. That is the Zen realization. That is, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. That is, every form is the manifestation of emptiness. And emptiness we call, don't be caught up by this word emptiness, because we cannot objectify it. We cannot put into any label or any name for it, because it is not an object. No? It is a dimension. What it is really, it is a mystery. No? It is manifesting itself in so many different forms. Okay? And each one of us is that. You are emptiness manifested, or you are the embodiment of the divine self, okay, which has no limits. And here, in this story, the Seijo who was so obedient to the father, that is indicating our limited self. Limited self. See, she was limited. She was so much bound by the traditions, the customs, by the wishes of the father. She is limited and cannot move freely. It is pointing out our limited self. The other side of the Seijo, who has given wings to her dreams, in the level there is no limit. She can go anywhere she wants. She can live her life as she likes. No limit, no boundaries. And that indicates our ultimate self, an ultimate self, and the ultimate reality. It has no boundaries, no limit. And now, who are you? Who are you truly? Are you the one limited self, or are you the unlimited, the ultimate self? Who are you truly, or what are you truly? That is the question. The realization is form is emptiness and emptiness is form, which means this limited self cannot exist without emptiness, cannot exist by itself. At the same time, even emptiness, that we call ultimate self, cannot exist by itself. It is always the form, the phenomenal self and the ultimate self, they are all always together. Always together. They cannot exist by themselves. And that is the great mystery. It's a kind of a paradoxical, when we say form is emptiness, emptiness is form. It's a big paradox. But then that is yourself. You are that. You are that. Yourself is ultimately is emptiness manifested. Not only you, all the people you see, all the forms you see and experience, that is emptiness embodied, manifested. And now he is asking, then who are you? Are you one? Are you two? What is that? What is that? So here, see, the two Seijos go, embrace each other and become one. But what does it mean? What does it mean? The phenomenal self and the ultimate self embraced each other and become one. Many a times we identify ourselves only with this. I am Cyril. I am a male. I am an Indian. Or I am administrator. Like that we identify ourselves with a phenomenal self. But then it is a reality, but it is not permanent. It is passing reality, changing reality. You see, all of you are present here. Maybe some 20 years ago, who were you? You were the same, but the body is different. You looked much younger. Maybe you looked more beautiful and handsome, and your dreams, your aspirations are very alive. But now it is changed. But the ultimate, the subject doesn't change. Doesn't change. See? Your body is growing, life situations is growing, changing. But then the ultimate self doesn't change. It is always there. It is always there. And therefore, the realization is, who are you truly? That means becoming the two Seijos coming together means the phenomenal self embracing the ultimate self. The ultimate self embracing the phenomenal self. That means not to be identified with one level. You are both. You are both. What does it mean? Which means embracing your limited self. Many a times we are not able to embrace our limited self. Why? Because it is limited. Your body can get into sickness. Your actions can get into faults or some mistakes you can do. We don't want that. We want to be the perfect, all the time healthy, all the time youthful, all the time happy. We want that. We don't want to identify ourselves with a limited self, because this self is imperfect. It is subject to sickness, it is subject to mistakes, it is subject to misunderstanding, it is subject to faults. This self is that, and we don't want to embrace it. The embracing of both Seijo means you lovingly embrace your limited self. Oh, Seijo, long back I forgotten you. You are my very self. I love you. I embrace you. That kind of an attitude. Which means embracing this very life. This very life. This is an imperfect life. We have failures in this life, disappointments in this life, sickness in this life, also success and joys in this life. We make mistakes. This is an imperfect life. But then, only when you embrace this life as part of yourself, there you come to peace. There you come to serenity and you find your true self there. Yeah. So the true Seijos meeting each other means the phenomenal self and the ultimate self embracing each other and owning each other. You are part of my very self. That means not running away from our failures, not running away from our problems, not running away from our difficulties. You own them and embrace them, accept them. It is all right. It is myself, my very self. That is the thing. That is the thing. So the coming one means you come home with your very self. You come home with your very limited, imperfect self. That is the thing. You embrace it with all your heart, with all your love, with all your openness. You embrace it. That is the thing. Okay, now I just say a few comments on the commentary and the verse. The commentary, he's saying, if you realize the true one in this, you will understand that getting out of one shell and entering another is just like a traveler staying in an inn. Actually, he is talking about the rebirth. Buddhism also believe in rebirth. In Zen also there is an element of that. In the rebirth, see, it is like a traveler. When you see the travelers, as they travel, they stay in one inn or a house. The next day they leave the house and go to another. He's talking about our ultimate self. The ultimate self can take different forms. Maybe in terms of rebirth, now you are born into human form. Maybe the next birth you can take into another form. We don't know. That is called getting out of one shell and entering into another shell. But if you don't believe in rebirth, what will you do? You do not believe in rebirth here. Here, every life situation is a shell. Every life situation is a constant changing. Today you are feeling happy. Tomorrow you may not feel happy. You may be troubled. Today you are feeling peaceful. Tomorrow maybe you are disturbed. Today you are healthy. Tomorrow you may be sick. Every life situation is a shell. But then the ultimate self is the same. Life situation change. Happiness, joy, or success, failures, life situation changes to every moment after moment. But the ultimate self is the same. It is all. If you must realize that, And he says, if you realize that, if you have not realized it, don't rush about widely. Which means, if you have not realized this truth, don't rush about widely means going after one master to another master, one tradition from another tradition, one philosophy to another philosophy. It will never get an end. He will say, just sit on your cushion and practice diligently. And he says, when earth, water, fire and wind are suddenly about to decompose, you will be like a crab which has fallen into your boiling water and is struggling with its 7 arms and 8 legs. Which means he's talking about the time of death. The earth, water, fire, all these things decompose means It is our understanding. Indian understanding is every human being is a combination of 5 elements, fire, water, earth, like that. When they became decomposed means it is pointing out our death, the time of death. If you are not realize this truth at the time of death, it will be very difficult for you. You cannot let go. You cannot let go your shell. You will be all the time grabbing your shell. If you have realized it at the time of death, you will be free. You may be saying, yes, I am ready to leave this shell and entering into another shell. Even in an ordinary life, every life situation comes, you will be free. Yes, now I am feeling failure, it's all right. Now I am feeling pain, it's all right. Now I am feeling joy or success, it is all right. You can freely move from one situation to another situation. He is talking about that. At that time, don't tell me that I did not warn you. That means he is asking us to diligently to come to the deep realization. And the verse is very nice. I would like to comment on this. The verse says, the clouds and the moon are the same. Valleys and mountains are different from each other. See the first line, the clouds and the moon are the same. Are the clouds and the moon same? Are the clouds and the moon same? I am asking you. Are the clouds and the moon same?
No.
No. Of course, they are not same in the phenomenal dimension. In the ultimate dimension, they are same. How? Because they are also the manifestation of emptiness. As I told you, every phenomenal thing we see, we hear, we experience, it is the manifestation of emptiness or the ultimate self. In that case, not only the clouds and moon are same, you, me, the table, the cushion, the trees, the mountains, the rivers, the sun, the moon, we all are same. We all are one. In that ultimate dimension, we all one. There is no difference. Our essential nature is the same. There is no difference. So feeling that oneness. So the first line is talking about that. The clouds and the moon are same means in the ultimate dimension, we all one. We can embrace each other in that oneness. Very beautiful. At the same time, the very second line says, the mountains and the difference differ from each other. That means, when you come into the phenomenal level, you are different and I am different. You are not me and I am not you. The mountains are not the valleys are not the mountains. Which means, accept the difference. Respect the difference and be grateful for that. Of course, the ultimate level we are same, but the phenomenal level, each one is different. Your aspirations, your thinking, your dreams, and your way of understanding, everything is different and unique. They say the whole human history, no person is the same. Even before you or after you. You are so unique, which means how precious you are. How precious, Your aspirations, your dreams, your attitudes, everything is so precious. And Zen respect that, appreciates that, and acknowledge that. Yes, you are different. I am different. So accept that differences. Okay, and give the dignity for each person in this level. Not only human person, also the trees, the mountains, everything. We must give them the due respect. All are blessed. 10,000 things, 10,000 blessings. Which means all the things, all the phenomenal things we see, everything is a blessing. Everybody is a blessing. You may be a saint, you may be a sinner, you may be a great man, you may not be that famous, but then everybody is a great blessing. Also, in your own life, you undergo so much things, problems, difficulties, confusions, dark time, light. all these things are a blessing. So in this level, everything happens in your life and everybody is a blessing. Even your problems, difficulties are a blessing. They are all manifestation of the Divine Self. And the last one he says, 10,000 things, 10,000 blessings, which means whatever things you see, it is a grace, it is a blessing. The people, the things you see, everybody is a grace and blessings. If you say, I have 100 problems in my life, which means you have 100 blessings in your life. That is the understanding. And the last one is, is it one, is it two? So now tell me, this self, is it one, is it two? The phenomenal level and ultimate level, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Is it one, is it two? This self is neither one nor two. It is a great mystery. Realize that mystery. I end here and I wish you all the best. Let us recite the way of compassion.
Page 15. The way of compassion. May creatures all abound in weal and peace. May all be blessed with peace always. All creatures weak or strong, all creatures great and small, creatures unseen or seen, dwelling afar or near, born or awaiting birth, may all be blessed with peace.